welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. We're back in the jungle with legendary naturalist Doctor. Really? Do we have to do this? With documentary series. It is our 111th episode, our 111st
don't know half of you half
episode.
As well as I
Anyway,
should like, and I like less than half of you half as
yes.
well as you deserve.
Pushing on.
I regret to announce that this is the end.
Right.
Farewell.
But, okay, thank you. Bye. As an 111st birthday present, we would be ever so grateful for you to leave us a rating or review on your podcast app of choice, be that Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Beyond Pod, Lucas's funny one, or whatever. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Billowing Hilltop. You can see maps and artwork on our Tumblr at billowinghilltop.tumblr.com. Otherwise, I have nothing else for you. Let us push on with episode 111 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Ho, 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 to the battle I go. I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Come on, Gandalf, did you see their faces?
Well, I did, but I mean, they're baboons. They don't know what you were going on about. Anyway, give me that ring.
Fuck.
This is just relentless.
It is.
You don't give us a chance to kill any of these things, and they all run away, and then it's basically, attrition.
But to be fair, right, so I seem to have some reputation of being completely gung-ho, but I am usually right about reading these things. We do try and retreat far too early. I'm not saying it's not, we're not in a bad spot here, but I think we've done quite well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we've obviously done damage on the angels, but they obviously all decided to.
Well, we killed the Chaos Knight.
Yeah.
Got rid of the Naga.
At least they're all not attacking us in one go.
But we forced 3 angels to retreat.
That wormy room is going to obviously spill out at some stage or other, isn't it?
Yeah, but the beetles are the ones I'm worried about, because if this scream does damage on me.
Oh God! Concentration check.
Yep. I've done quite well being able to avoid it so far.
Time to run away.
Not yet. If we can keep the beetles out, I think we can fight these guys.
Give it a go. I don't have huge amounts of hit points.
I'm good for hit points. I'm running low on spells.
I've got 56 hit points left. It's not bad, but...
Well, we've got a happy stick.
Right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Off we go.
Good evening.
Shall we won't bother with a recap, but this interminable combat continues. But there have been developments. The angels that have been the thorns in your sides for... goodness knows how long this combat's been running. Anyway, they've disappeared down the pit. One of them with some Parker's hit points. Still, I don't know why it's so funny. Anyway, one of them's got some of Parker's hit points.
Aren't you? Really?
I am quite pleased with it. Yeah, I'm disappointed that I didn't get to steal more of your hit points, but it's not over yet. You defeated the Chaos Knight, like a kind of anti-paladin of Chaos. That was week before last. Mm-hmm. Now what you're left with are the scrabbly beetles scrabbling against Burple's effectively permanent wall of force, and the door to the library to the south has opened and horrors have emerged. Oh, the other thing we should point out, or rather I should just refresh your memory on, the torture chamber to the north, with glass walls holding back seas of writhing bioluminescent green worms. One of the angels, before they fled down the pit to the lower levels, or whatever it is that's down there, started a crack in the glass walls. You're wondering about how stable that is. Parker closed the doors to that room, so you don't know what's going on in there, but we're guessing nothing good. Now, we're on 11, which is the turn of all things horrible.
Buggy,
the doors to the doors to the library opened. There's a creature called a worm caller, which obviously is the sort of spellcasty, warlock, cleric, sorcerer type zombie chaos worm horror thing. Cast a flame strike that underperformed against Parker and Buggy. And then we've got these 3 warriors that have stalked out into the chamber. They look agile, capable, speedy, and together. They're carrying huge greatswords that are dripping with a green sludge. They're called Swords of Chaos. One of them, a variant, if you like, is also a Hinge-head. It flipped the visor of its helmet back and the whole head opened with it, like a giant muppet. And it screeched, and everybody, and I mean Ooh, maybe not Sessions. Let's do a bit of range finding. And everybody, including Sessions, must make a DC. I've got to check this actually, because I think that's too high. 1 second. No, but I think it's got a lower DC because it's like an old school thing.
It's a charisma save, isn't it?
It's a wisdom save. Here we go. Here we go.
Say that.
It's a DC. Oh, okay. It's a DC 16.
Holy fuck.
Gracious. Wisdom save. I think Oort dice are going to be needed. There's a DC 16 wisdom save as this awful eldritch necrotic screech cuts through you all and you feel like you're rolling for your very lives.
But we do have a bless really running, don't we?
You do. Okay, who was that? With that dreadful roll?
Needs an Oort dice in play.
There's a 7. You don't have the bless spell. Sorry, my God.
Wisdom, you say?
Okay, that's not getting you anywhere near the number you need.
Wait a minute, I just need to check something.
Did you say wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
So Lucas is doing that thing again. Did you say saving throw? 7.
13.
He needs another 3 and the D4 for your bless. Could be critical.
Yeah, 16.
Parker lives. Parker lives.
Oh, bugger. Sessions
12.
21.
Sessions 21.
Oh, right.
There's that lovely feeling, isn't there, when it's just you're done. The number's done. It's out the way.
Oort dice time.
I just can't bring myself to do it.
Oort dice.
I mean, well, let's park Alessandra for a moment.
Do I get advantage because I blocked my ears?
No. What?
Uncle Buggy, you would have done had you not been in the miasma.
Well, nobody else has been rolling at disadvantage in the miasma.
Good point, Parker. Thank you, Johnny. I had forgot. Parker, you were rolling at disadvantage.
Okay, here we go again.
Getting
17.
Saving. Okay, so Uncle Buggy, you're rolling just a regular roll. Getting a 12.
Plus
Plus
1
the bless.
Another 4 plus the bless, needing a D4. Rolling a
14.
Can you get
Oort
2
dice
from
time.
anywhere?
Okay, so
What
you
is
failed.
it exactly?
You've got a feeling that you're clinging on to your life
Is it
with
fear?
the saving throw.
Is it save or die?
No.
Oh, is it the thing that drops your hit points?
You faced it before. I mean, this may be a bit more...
Is it the horror thing that you roll minus a d6 on everything going forward?
No, it's an awful lot worse than that.
It's the massive damage, isn't it?
Maybe worse. You've always made this save. You've always spent
Save or
all dice
die.
in order to make this save. Let's not get into
Save or die. Or is it paralysis or
No, I think it's the one that drops you to 1 hit point.
petrification? Okay, sod it. Here we
Tonight's
go.
beer,
Here we go.
Paul,
Sod it.
is, Oh, I forgot that Purple hadn't rolled.
Well, that's an Oort dice.
3.
Right away.
Purple and Doctor in a...
So you've got 3 of
Right,
you.
Oort dice.
3
Here we go.
people.
Oort dice. I'm going to fail this. I just know I'm
use
going to
Oort
fail.
dice.
It's going to be bad.
Okay, here
Yeah,
we
it's
go.
a
It's a
1.
1.
A
Okay.
3 and then a 1.
That is unrecoverable for Purple. Let's move on to Alessandra.
Dead, but
Okay.
not forgotten. It's much worse, but
Yes! Oh, he's made it. And then finally, Uncle Buggy.
Can I find out what happens to the buggy? Burble before I make
I don't get an an Oort dice for killing the Chaos Knight, do I? He says, scraping the bottom of the barrel.
No, but doesn't Uncle Buggy have a one-off?
I have a
Oort
one-off,
dice?
but I haven't used my normal Oort dice either.
Well, you could give it to Purple.
You're going to have to make... Yeah, you can give it to Purple.
You've got a spare
I think
Oort
that
dice
might
you
be
could give to-
advisable.
Sorry,
I think it would be good if Purple saved.
Can't quite hear that.
You
I
could
think
give
it's
it.
in your
Sorry, what'd you say?
interests, Uncle Buggy. Unless you want some beetles scuttling in.
Let's see whether Buggy
That's
gets
true.
through
Let
with
me
his first
let me
Oort
use
dice.
my normal Oort dice.
Oh yeah, shit.
So you got the one-off... Okay, so you're going to use your normal Oort dice.
I say now I've got the 1d4 from the bless.
You got a 10, it's not going to be enough.
12.
So that's 12.
Plus the
and now
Oort
I've got
dice.
1d8 from the Oort.
Oh yes, 1d8 from the Oort.
14.
14 again.
Right, so you either use your one-off, once-only Oort dice.
I can't use it on the same. Oh, can I?
That's a good point. Do you know what? I'm not sure that we've discussed this.
It's never come up.
I don't think it ever has.
I think you're making up a rule there, Johnny.
I think what we have to do is
someone-
we have to do what we always do when we haven't got it determined, which is to roll a dice. I'm going to roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, you can use more than one Oort dice on a single roll, should you possess them. Yep. On a 4 to 6, that's
why
not
don't
permitted.
does it have to be random? Why don't you just decide?
Because I don't know the right answer.
I do.
And I think we always decide these matters with a d6.
No, we don't.
I mean, it's in your interests, Burple, for him
It's
to
in
not be
our-
able to use the Oort.
Well, no, because I've used an Oort dice.
Oh, I see. I forgot about that. Oh, dearie me, this is freighted with much. Well, I'm going to do it with a d6 anyway. We're going to ask Mighty Oort to decide. On a 1 to 3, you can use more than one Oort dice on a roll. On a 4 to 6, you cannot. Rolling the dice. You cannot! That means that both Burple and Uncle Buggy have failed. Can anybody think of anything?
I can.
Yes?
If it's really, really bad, yeah,
It's pretty bad, yeah?
then surely Oort would want to use his Oort power, the extra Oort dice, to re-roll the save. I mean, if it was fatal, for example, then he'd never get to use that power of Oort.
I think that is just extraordinary.
I think Graham's got a good point.
I think
there.
that Oort
That's good.
bestows you with the ability to
He wants to help
rescue yourself.
Yeah.
He wants to help you, and as a result, he's given you Oort dice.
you. So surely he'd allow you to use both of them.
I tell you what, I will let you do, Graham. Since you're
Belabouring the point.
you can pray, should you wish, for divine intervention.
I can. Oh, cool. I'll try that.
Sessions can, yes. You might want to double check the numbers that you have. That I will allow you to do.
Do I get disadvantage though in the miasma? Does it make disadvantage on saving throws?
Disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks. Yeah. But Sessions, as a cleric of sufficient level, is able to call on the Lady Luck Misfortune to intervene.
Right. So I need to roll less than or equal to 11.
If you do, she will beseech Mighty Oort to change his mind about the use of Oort dice. Here we go.
So it's a percentile roll.
It's a percentile roll. Let's
do you
roll
need?
that.
So, what do you want, low or high?
I
There's
want
an
less than
11% chance. 11% chance of you
Oh,
having
I
an
see.
11%
Low.
chance of somehow saving yourselves. Here we go.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Here
dear.
we are. Well, it's not that bad, by the way. It's only 2d8 points of damage, but anyway. 81.
81.
No,
Misfortune
good
is
enough. Okay,
not keen on these guys.
Burple
Yeah.
and Buggy, you drop to 0 hit points.
Right.
Right, I go up to 1. I've done Death Ward.
Oh, you cast Death Ward?
Yes, I cast it.
He cast
And it lasts for 8 hours. It lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Can you read me the text of Death Ward?
Yeah, I just find the spell.
Because this thing does not cause damage.
I think it just says when you drop to 1. Let's have a look.
That's fine in that case.
The
Don't
first
spend
time
too long on it.
when you drop to 0 hit points as a result
That's exactly
of
what's
taking
happened.
damage.
Oh dear. No, you're just dropped to 0 hit points. I'm afraid that doesn't help you. Okay, Burple.
Hang on, if the
and-
spell is still in effect when it's subject to an effect that would kill it instantly without
No.
dealing damage,
No,
that
you're not killed
effect
instantly. You're on
is
0 hit.
instead negated against the target in the spell.
No, you're on 0 hit points. You're not killed.
What's the
You're
difference?
not slain. Well, there are spell effects whereby you are slain if you fail the saving throw. And there are also spell effects where you're dropped to 0 hit points. Buggy's not dead. He's making death saving throws.
Why?
But he's not
wasn't
taking
it
damage.
What was it?
It wasn't damage. It's just you're dropped to 0 hit points. The way that it works is that you are immediately dropped to 0 hit points. Not through damage. There's no damage calculation. There's no roll. You're just dropped to 0 hit points.
It's a
And you're
very
not slain
harsh
immediately.
interpretation, but okay.
Well, I'm afraid it's the way it is. You're both on 0 hit points, and you're both making death saving throws. And we move on.
And the wall of force
to
comes down.
The wall of force comes down, and we move on to.
Does the wall of force come down?
It's
Yeah.
concentration.
It's concentration.
But I thought we were playing the slightly modified version of the death saves.
We are. Well, that's a very good point.
Oh yes, he didn't take damage, did he?
Exactly.
So it's just a concentration.
Well,
he's
it's more a
unconscious,
question of whether we're playing the Boromir rule or whatever rule, right? Which is that when you're on 0 hit points and making death saves,
Until
you
you
can
fail.
take until you fail. You can take. I think it's a move action. You can't act normally. You can crawl and you can take actions, but you can't. Good point, Graham.
Yeah, well done, Graham. Yeah, I think that's fine. So the War Force is in place.
Right, so the Boromir option, which we don't play, is you act normally. That's basically, you're just running around. If you take any damage, that's the end of you.
Yeah.
We're playing Boromir Light, which is that you're able to crawl across the room and deactivate the nuclear weapon, basically. Right? It's a sort of drama thing. So, you're on the ground, you're prone, you're only able to crawl, you can't make attacks or skill checks, but you can take, I don't know, straightforward actions.
Yeah.
And I would say, therefore, that you can maintain concentration on a spell.
Yeah.
I think that seems to be reasonable.
Nice one, Graham. Well done.
You can't cast spells, though.
No.
No, because that would be an action.
Graham, have you got a massive one of these like Uber heals or something?
Uber heals.
Have I got Uber heal?
Be with you in 8
That
minutes.
heals everybody.
No.
He's not that short.
I thought it was one of your
It's
new.
like a Simon Cowell.
I have Uber heal, but not Uber heal that heals everyone.
Right. It is Uncle Buggy on 9. It's time for you to start making death saving throws.
Right. There's nothing else I can do. So you're saying I can move, crawl?
You start your turn with a death saving throw. Let's get that done. Then you can crawl and you can take kind of mundane actions. We've never really nailed this down, but I think what we're really saying is you can't attack, you can't cast
Until
spells.
you fail a death saving throw. Until you have
as soon as you
more
fail it.
negative saves than positives. That's what it was. So the
Right,
first
yeah.
effect-
So if you make your death, yeah, exactly. Graham's exactly right. So if you make a death saving throw, it persists. If you fail a death saving throw, as soon as you fail more than you've made, you're unconscious.
So there's 10 or more, is it? Yeah.
Getting a 13 and you make it. You've got 1 in the credit column. Parker on 4.
No, now he's got an action. Now can he crawl?
Oh, well, he can crawl. Sorry, yes.
Jules, can you crawl to be within 5 foot of one of these things?
Be useful.
It's just...
I have to say I'm the fastest crawler on the planet.
So,
is it a
Craven.
move action?
Just tuck yourself
Is it a move action?
you can crawl at half speed.
So I can
Yeah.
crawl 35 feet.
Yeah, you can get up to one of them.
It was like the Rugrats.
Well, I do.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah, but
No, I never.
But what about my 25?
I'm crawling towards Burpoint on the hope that Sessions is going to be able to do something just south of him. So we're
Next to Burple.
both next to a pillar on the
Yeah, I
eastern
understand.
side of the hall.
Parker on 4. This thing is standing right in front of you. Hinge-head.
Yeah.
It's got its helmet open. Sorry.
What's the
him.
plan, guys? Are we carry on fighting or are we running away?
Well, if I can get some hit points, I don't mind fighting.
Burple needs a heal, right?
Purple is on 0 hit points and
Yeah.
making death saves. If he fails his death save, the Wall of Force comes down,
Yeah. So
which creates a whole other problem.
yeah. So the
Yeah,
point,
a
the
whole
point
other
is,
horrible
Sessions,
problem.
Are you
The
going to go
Beetles
and
are
heal him?
scrambling against that wall of force, Parker.
Are you going to go and heal him, Sessions, or do you need somebody else to do that? Shall I wade in and attack, or shall I go?
I'm definitely going to heal him.
Right. So I guess I just wade in and attack the.
But critically, Sessions goes after Burp.
No, we go on the same number.
Yeah, but all the way through this combat.
Yeah, but it hasn't
Burple,
mattered until
and
now.
then Sessions. Yeah, well, isn't it tragic that the first time that it matters, it's in the wrong order?
Have you got any healing potions or
No,
Purple.
I haven't got anything.
Parker?
Oh, I see. Purple Parker.
Parker, have you
But
got
can
any
I-
healing potions?
well, I can go
or-
up and heal him.
Well, I
What would advantage would a healing potion have? You're saying I should throw it at him or something, but then that would still be
Dude,
an
you
action.
might
I didn't
cause
know
1
you
point of
could
damage.
heal. I didn't know you could heal.
So
I have a heal that I could do on him.
Well, it depends. If Burple is
Yeah,
going
pretty
before
desperate.
Sessions, then you probably best run up and heal him.
Well,
Unless
Parker,
Sessions.
it's in the blink of an eye, Parker. You've got to make a quick.
Yeah, but
Spur of the moment
but
decision.
the point is so okay. If Burple is
Can't
healed,
You can't discuss things with. Yeah, you can discuss things.
if Burple is healed, what effective spell can you do on all of them?
If Burple
rather
isn't
than-
healed, the wall of force comes down if he fails a death saving throw. I think is the point.
Yeah, but Sessions is
The wall
going
of
to
force
heal
comes
Burple.
down.
yeah, but
Purple goes first.
No, but Sessions is
I
going
go
to heal
afterwards.
Burple after.
Yeah, so
the
what
death
I'm saying
saving
is
throw.
it's about whether it's about whether I lose my move or Burple loses his.
No.
No,
Let's-
it's
What do I
more
understand
fundamental
about
than
let's-
that.
this, Lucas?
Let's just
Oh,
let's
you're
just
saying
roll
it's-
through this
it's
again.
right,
Gamble
sorry,
is
so
whether you're
the gamble
prepared
is
to-
whether Burple makes his death saving throw. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a 45%
I will
chance
move
that
up
the
to
wall of force
Burple
comes
and heal
down.
him.
It's less than. It's less
Okay,
than
there we go. There we are.
that. It's less than that.
It's a 45% chance that he'll fail, right? He needs
He
to
has to
get 10 or
bless. He adds a D4 to saving throws.
I don't think it works for death save, does it?
What's the title say? It's a death save. It's a save.
It's the same.
We've had this discussion already.
That's true. I've forgotten it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I think we discovered that it didn't.
Yes, I think that as well. It doesn't matter. I've gone up and I've healed him.
How much?
3 points, unfortunately, but it was only
3?
cure wounds. Yeah.
3 points. That's it.
You're in this position
Stick.
and you're complaining.
No. Dirty
Sorry,
stick.
Dan.
Burnt stick.
Fuck off.
It's
Last
rude.
time-
Dirty stick.
Burnt. Burnt stick.
God, 3 points. I mean, Jesus.
Oh no, it does help you.
Yes,
It does help you.
it does.
Right.
Well, I'm on 3 points anyway.
You're on 3 hit points.
But it'll be
Okay.
good for
Excellent.
Buggy when he gets round to his go.
Can you hold multiple people at once?
Hold multiple people.
Heal multiple people at once.
Can't you hold multiple people?
How can you hold multiple people at once?
Also,
That's the
thing.
question. No, I mean
I
it's a
can hold
critical
multiple Ps.
tactical juncture. Yeah, things are right up against the wire.
Tactical thing.
And
You might want to move away from us after doing that.
And the
heal.
Dan, and what's
Yeah,
Dan? I mean,
that's
I
a
don't know
good
about you,
point.
but
That's
the
I
question
can't
that
relax
everybody's
until I
asking.
know the
Flame
answer to the
strike.
question. Can you hold
Multiple people.
multiple people at once
So after I've healed him, I will actually move back down to here.
and hold
To,
your multiple people?
hold
Okay,
my
Alessandra on
multiple
17, who somehow is now going to get into something with the rangefinder and wondering about whether or not she gets disadvantage or advantage or something. Here we go.
Alessandra's going to move and hide. Except
What?
What?
Fight!
I can't fight. There's nothing to fight. Well, it's not.
Bombshell.
What do you mean there's
Wizard and
nothing to
us.
fight?
Damage
there
is
are-
damage.
We need you to fight.
Attrition.
If nothing else, you've got to worry about the angels that are coming on the way, that are coming back up the pit.
They're not.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
All right. Alessandra will move out from her hiding place. She's going to attack.
Okay, you can see
Screechy head.
3 of these swords of Chaos, one of which is a bit of a hinge-headed horror, and the worm caller, the spellcaster.
She's going to try and hit the Hinge-head, I think.
Yeah,
Hitting on plus 22.
that is a hit.
Thank God for that. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are scary, but they're not that scary. Sorry, that was the sound of the DM reading something on their stats that he hadn't remembered.
Doing 13 points of damage. And then she will,
Okay,
And then
on
she will-
Hinge-head.
on Hinge-head.
Yeah.
And then she will
Yeah.
continue.
You know what? That's not bad. I mean, you feel like it's not reeling, but that's not insignificant.
And then she'll continue
So
to
maybe
move.
the
So
night
she's running
guard.
all the way round into the western atrium. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's, well, you can hear the sound of the jungle,
Lovely.
Alessandra, when you move into the western atrium. You can hear the chirp of insects. You can hear the screech of birds. You can hear the sound of movement out there. Something's moving around out there. Not quite sure what it is. On 16. Pulled from the jaws of hell itself. Burple. Everybody's thinking at twice the speed they were, and everybody's leafing through their character sheets looking for stuff. How many hit points are you on now?
3.
That's not hit points.
I mean, Graham can heal you more, but at least the issue of the wall of forces.
Well, we're going to get a flame strike if we're not careful.
Well, you didn't take damage, so you didn't have to make a concentration saving throw, right?
It's an interesting concept that
Yeah, I
we didn't
know.
take damage. Because
didn't
you
take
heal
damage,
it.
no.
Because you heal it.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
Well, you do. You're interpreting
I don't.
this particular thing in a particular
I
way.
interpret the rules. The rule is that the power drops. You must make a DC wisdom saving throw.
Or you're reduced to 0
on a
hit.
fail, you are reduced to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it does if you've got 61 hit points. It does 61 points of damage on you. It says you are reduced to 0 hit points.
Sure. But
You're not slain.
No,
I think this
therefore you don't.
interpretation is slightly better for us than the other one.
it is, which is why I haven't been complaining about it. But
I
But
don't
you're
think
gonna
it would
do
be
so.
fair to say that you've taken 61 points of damage and you had to make a concentration save. Doesn't seem right.
that's fine.
Because
I'm not complaining, but you heal the damage. You heal it.
but the point of a concentration saving throw is that it's the disruption caused to you by the amount of physical damage that you take that makes it difficult for you to maintain the spell.
Yeah, and being reduced to 0 hit points and having to make death saving throws somehow
you're not being thumped by some giant.
Disruption.
Well, only because you were left prostrate on the ground. You didn't have to. Well, I could have made you make a concentration saving throw, but setting the DC would have been difficult because there's no damage to key it to, right? There's no specific damage number. But this way, you've got 300 hit points and you've got 100 hit points, and you're both subject to the same effect.
I'm not arguing.
The person with 300 hit points has got a higher DC
the only point
concentration save to make
than
the person with low hit points.
Interpretation. You are not. You're not basically. I don't write the rules. It's just like, well, you don't write the rules, but also you are interpreting the rules.
Yeah, I am interpreting them, but put simply, that would mean that the higher number of hit points you were on when you were dropped to 0 hit points, the more difficult the concentration save, which seems to me to be counterintuitive. That doesn't seem right. So it can't be keyed to the number of hit points that are taken from you to put you to 0. So you'd have to come up with a flat DC for the disruptive effect of being dropped to 0. And I just don't know that I'm going to get into that.
I understand the difficulty, but it's a slightly odd thing. That's what I'm saying. Now, I think the weird. So you just generally a sort of rules question. Is it always the case that you can cast a spell using a spell slot of a higher level?
No, it will say in the spell description, won't it?
So some spells you can't cast using a higher spell slot.
I don't think so. It will say in the spell description.
That's why I'm asking the question.
No, I'm not sure that it does, because
I think
there are two different things entirely. Yeah, there are spells that call out the effect of using a high level spell slot.
Yes.
I think in D&D Beyond, it lists out the spell
when a
in other
character
levels.
casts a spell, he or she expends a slot of that spell's level or higher.
Right.
Thank you very much, Parker.
Thank you.
Parker.
I think
if it is a real Parker.
That's from the rules.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try.
Oh, the podcast is doing well, guys. 11 listens today.
Oh yes. 11.
Oh,
Come on.
Well, it's a Monday.
So I'm running north, and as I run, I'm popping off a spell as I hide behind this pillar up here.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're bailing big time into the corner of the. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm trying to get out of the range of this thing, but at the same time, I could hear myself. But if he does another one of these things, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference.
I'm loving this bit of calculation because you know that Sessions was in it, but you're thinking I
maybe
was surprised that Sessions was in it, and so you're thinking maybe I only need to move myself another 5 or 10 feet, and maybe I'll be out of it. Yeah. No, I love it.
So I can move
I
up to.
thinking.
I can move up to.
Yeah, I get it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can actually move another square, so I'm going to move that. It's there.
Graham, can you do a silent spell?
Dear readers, just to catch you up on this, the Hall of Welcome, this giant square hall, pit in the centre, the angels have all flown down it. Doors to the south, out have come what's called the Worm Caller, the evil spellcaster, and 3 swords of Chaos, and then everything else is chaos. Parker's in one corner. Sessions is hiding in the doorway. Burple is basically fleeing north. Uncle Buggy is hiding behind a pillar. Alessandra, I can't even find Alessandra. Where's Alessandra?
She's gone around the corner.
She's in the
Alessandra's basically
vestibule.
Alessandra has left. That's where things
has left the building.
Stand.
Okay, so I'm centered
by the Worm Caller.
By the Worm Caller, in amongst all. I think it will get all 4 of them. DC 15 intelligence saving throw, please.
Okay, the Worm Caller's looking pretty confident, but we haven't rolled the dice yet. The Swords of Chaos. Okay, they don't have great intelligence saves. I had to actually hunt around. Let's start with the Worm Caller. Rolling a 20.
Sake.
The Worm Caller shrugs off.
No.
Well, yeah, I know. And then rolling for the Swords of Chaos. I'm going to go left to right, starting with a regular 17. It's made it. The Sword of Chaos in the middle.
Fails
with a 1, but luckily,
it's a
because
hobbit.
we're playing at sufficiently high level, it's a hobbit. No, it has an Oort die. No, it doesn't. And then finally, Hinge-head rolls a 12. DC 15.
Yeah.
That is a fail.
Right.
From Hinge-head.
I'm using a point.
So we got.
I'm using a charge
fail.
from my meta magic rod to do 48 points of damage, save to half.
Oh, the meta magic rod that you were going to sell that you hated.
Well, the meta magic rod that I can now use because I can have an extra. I can bond with an extra item.
48 points of damage.
48 save to half, and
because
if they save, they are now operating at a minus
Yeah.
d6.
It's about
I didn't
time
mean
that
to do that.
purple did something, frankly.
And the worm
Apart from
caller
die.
saved to take 24 points of damage.
Yeah.
So, okay. So a couple of them are running at minus 1d6 when they do
I should
new
just say a
things.
creature
Sessions
with
on
an
six-
intelligence score of 2 or lower can't be affected by this spell.
No, you could have had Buggy in the radius there. It would have been fine. Sessions on 16.
Right. Now, how wounded do these things look?
From your vantage point, give me a medicine check. Would you want a sort of generality? I will tell you.
I can
that
make a
the
medicine
ones.
check if you want.
Yeah, you can see that a couple of them you feel were hit by the full force of Purple's spell, and a couple of them were not. The ones that were, I can see those dice rolls, they're not great. The ones that were hit by the full force, you think they're really pretty wounded. I mean, you think they're bloodied. Yes? The ones that saved are looking a bit bashed up, but it's not the end of the world. Included in the ones that saved is this worm caller spellcaster thing, and this worm caller seems to be tougher than the others. All of which, as a result of my description, leaves you completely clueless as to how you've done.
Yes, I mean it was completely.
Which was the point.
That's psychic damage, yeah.
Okay.
On we go.
Right. So I could do some damage because they're quite closely grouped. Yeah.
Well, that was my thinking.
And then run away.
And then run away.
I could,
Do some damage, Graham.
or I could heal Buggy.
Oh,
No.
because Buggy is going to have to make a death saving throw.
Yeah, but he's,
Or I could
he's
soon.
on one save already.
Yeah.
While they're grouped, I think we don't want Hinge-head to do another one of those, personally.
I mean, Johnny's asleep, otherwise he would be...
No, I can hear I can see the logic.
So shall I? I could try, shatter on them, all three of them. At least
Do it,
three.
Max out your thing.
I mean,
Max out
damn
the
it,
thing.
So, if I understood correctly, at least this one, the one nearest to us, is well wounded. So possibly that might finish it off.
Yeah, I'd do that if it's maxed out.
Hinge-head looks really pretty wounded,
Yeah.
as does
That would
one
be-
of the others.
Okay, I will try that. I will do shatter Get-
Where are you centering it?
right in between them,
What's the radius?
10 foot.
Okay, so you can get 3 of them.
Yeah, I know I can't get the fourth one.
So you're getting the spellcast, you're getting the worm caller in the centre, and 2 of the swords of Chaos.
Yes.
Yep. Dexterity save.
No, it's a Constitution save, and I'm going
it's
to
a
use.
Constitution save. That's good news. Yep. Sorry.
But I'm going to use my divine channeling to maximise the damage. So
It's 48 save to half.
no, it's 40 save to half.
Let's start with the worm caller. What's the DC of the save?
16.
Oh, that is
Miraculous.
a fail
That's miraculous.
on an 8. That is one off what it needed. It's not looking so happy.
So
Now-
it's taken 40.
The sword of Chaos that looked most healthy rolls a 20. Now looks about as wounded as the ones that failed the
No,
save
I think
against
the one to
purple
the
spell.
north failed, didn't he? Both those failed, didn't they?
First one failed, second one saved, third one failed.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
So he takes
This
20.
one, the last one, here we go. The most wounded one
Ooh.
rolls a 10. Gets a 14 in total.
He needs 16.
Fails.
Hinge-head.
It might be...
Dead. Come on.
It's not dead.
Oh,
But it is
Really?
not looking very well at all. I mean, really not looking well. There we go.
And then I'm going to reposition myself up here.
Repositioned meaning retreat?
No.
Yes. Are you consolidating? Are you regrouping?
I'm regrouping in another place.
Yeah, it's a special operation. On 11, it's bad guy time. Let us start with... I'll tell you what, let's not start with Hinge-head. No, let us roll a d6 for Hinge-head. You don't want a 6.
Recharge.
5.
Scream on a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank God for that.
Now, one of these creatures starts sprinting after Alessandra. Gets all the way round through the double doors and almost down the corridor and almost round the corner to you, Alessandra. Alessandra, you're tucked around the corner in the western atrium. You can hear this thing clanking, sprinting down the corridor towards you. It's almost right up to the corner.
How tall is it?
But not. It's a 6 foot. It's human-sized, 6 foot creature.
I'm flying up at the ceiling.
Well, it doesn't know that.
Okay.
It's just getting closer and closer. It can't see you. You think you're tucked around the corner. You just know that imminently it's present, it's proximate. It's going to be coming around that corner and finding you. The ceiling height is 30 feet, so I think you're going to be all right, but we're going to need to double check that, right?
Okay.
Hinge-head we'll leave till last. No, Hinge-head is going to stride up to Parker and attack Parker with its enormous double-handed sword.
Oh, Christ.
Hitting armor class 27 with a natural 20. It's going to roll again as per the convention to see whether or not it can draw a critical card. It rolls a 14. It hits armor class 21.
It's a miss.
Is a miss. That is so close. I know that's close though. You take double damage and the green slime effect. 17 points of slashing damage. And you take 2d6 worth of acid damage. I don't think you've got anything non-magical and metal on you, have you?
No.
Okay, so you just take a further 8 points of acid damage, and that's it for that. Now, next, the third Sword of Chaos summons the invocation of the worm and targets Sessions and Burple up in the northeastern corner of the chamber.
It doesn't know where I am. How I'm behind a pillar.
It's an area of effect that just happens to catch you. You both need to make...
What's the range?
It's 100 feet range. It's a 20-foot radius blast of necrotic energy.
We're doomed.
You must make a DC 13.
900.
There's the good news. Dexterity save.
Dexterity.
But if you fail...
But if you fail, well, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about what happens if you fail.
All right.
Cool.
It's that bad. It's big damage. Big damage.
I'm on
It's
3
not
hit points.
unsurvivable damage. It's certainly not unsurvivable damage for Sessions, but it is unsurvivable for Burple.
On 3 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe to half?
You'll go down to naught. What's the rule about death from massive damage? Is it that you take minus
hit points
your...
minus and then you...
Right, okay, so I think Burple's going to be okay for that. So really we're just talking about...
thank God
Effectively,
for
it's
that.
quite a binary situation, actually.
Yeah.
But it would... Let's see where we get to, anyway.
Okay, here we go. DC 13, so needing a 7.
Well, that's going to be fine.
I've still got a bless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half damage. You're going down, it's half damage. So you're going... Actually, thinking about this, you're going down.
But you
Burple.
need a constitution.
That's a save.
Okay, well, you're going to take half damage.
Well,
but
you
it's-
say that. Except I
Ah.
have a ring of evasion.
But don't you have to declare that you use it before you make the save?
I don't
Or
think you do.
When you fail a save, you can use your ring of
Oh, when
evasion
you-
to take half damage.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
So it's just a...
Sessions gets an 18.
So you use one to use it. Sorry, it doesn't help me. It's still half.
And
Well,
you've
it's
got to
still
make
half damage.
concentration save.
Okay, well, let's start
It's
with
half
one thing at a
damage.
time. One thing at a time. The problem is, it's half of lots of damage.
Yeah, but I
Here
am
it comes.
resistant to necrotic damage.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is necrotic damage. It's 9d6 of necrotic damage. Okay, let's roll the dice. There's a lot of dice.
Fuck it.
38.
38.
Fucking hell.
So that's
38 points of
19,
necrotic
so that's
damage.
9.
90, so it's 9.
9 points. Of
Sessions takes 19.
Sessions takes 19 points of necrotic damage.
And I have to make a DC 10 concentration save, yeah? For the
To keep the bless.
bless.
Yeah. Off you go. You
Roll an 11.
make a save.
So what's the?
Now, Burple, you've had 3 hit points.
Yeah.
Right? You take 9 hit points.
Yeah,
So
so
you're dropped to 0 hit
Drop to
points.
naught.
You're conscious. As per our rules, you're conscious and able to crawl around and do minor stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
But I need to make a
You took 9
concentration
points of
check.
damage. The DC is 10 plus half the damage dealt.
10 or half
Or
the damage, whichever is higher.
So 10.
It's a DC 10 Constitution save.
Obviously, we know what's going to happen here, don't we? Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm feeling rather fatalistic. It's just been a
Well, let's see what happens.
non-ending.
The bless is still running.
Is it?
Yeah, because I saved.
The bless is still running because Sessions just saved.
Okay, so
This is a good combat. Here we go.
8, that's a 12. That's a save.
It's a 12 and you make it, and the wall of
But I'm
force
down again.
But the wall of force stays
It
up.
flickers. The wall of force flickers, but it's still there.
And then finally, it's the worm caller. It's the spellcaster.
Oh, man.
Surely the beetles will have lost interest now and gone away.
Yeah, exactly. They've gone back out to the forest.
We've got
Damn
come around
it.
the other way.
They're non-intelligent. They're scrabbling around. They can't get through. They're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's
been
almost
ages.
as if that
It's
it's
been
almost as
ages,
if
Mike.
their actions are driven by some vengeful puppet master.
I think they're going away.
Right, here we go. It's time for Wormy Boy. Oh my god, I've just seen something. The worm caller
Otherwise known as Wormy Boy.
Wormy boy.
strides north, up towards the pit, about 6 squares, stands at the edge of the pit, surveying you all, looks over at the wall of force. What level spell is the wall of force?
It's a 5th level spell. Don't do that. After I've been through all that, just
Dispel
bring
magic.
it down. Created the spell. You fucker.
2 levels above 3rd. That's
He has to make
Just
a roll.
not.
What point are we going to wig out?
Has to make a roll.
I don't know. They're close to being down. These guys. So it's a tough one.
It is.
Oi! Your mum left her knickers at my flat last night.
I'm not saying we shouldn't wig out. I'm not saying now is not the time to wig out, but
Wig out.
It's
Bug
just a
out.
flesh wound.
bug out.
Yeah.
It's a 5th level.
Wig.
It's a
spell.
5th level spell.
Yeah.
Not too
Okay,
bug out.
here we go. This is a big moment. This thing is going to roll a d20.
He's trying to bring it down.
Yeah.
It's making a caster level check.
You trying to kill the party?
Yes, he is trying
It's-
to kill the party. Definitely.
It's making... Yeah, I'm trying to
Okay.
kill you all, yeah. It's making a caster level check, an ability check using your spell casting ability. Its spell casting ability is intelligence. And its intelligence... Okay, it needs a number. But I'm not going to roll that now. What? Instead,
What?
we will find out
Oh, you fucker.
Oh no.
Oh no.
if this is the end of the wall of force, or if somehow you can scrabble your way to safety when we pick things up next week. Oh God.
So
Yeah.
It's just. Are we supposed to run away or supposed to do
I think
something?
we are supposed to run away.
all of these things
Not
are
supposed to
very
fight.
low on hit points.
Yeah.
Possibly apart from one of those Blades of Chaos and the wizardy crawly guy. To
Oi!
the rest of them,
Your mum.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Spire of Long Shadows and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Spire of Long Shadows was written by Jesse Decker. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!